If you want to make one-of-a-kind hats without a pattern, using any yarn you like, I've got a recipe for you. We'll be working in the round, starting from the top of the hat and working all the way down to the brim. In this video, we'll work on the crown, the top part of the hat, and next week we'll work through the body of the hat and finish it off. Follow the link in the description to see the supplies you're going to need for this project, and let's get started. Because we start knitting hat from the top, we're going to cast on stitches so that we could work from the center. Using any type of cast on to get stitches to work from the center, cast on 6 stitches. I'm going to use the type, the cast on that allows us to work from the loop, and that cast on works on odd number of stitches only, so I'm going to cast on 7 even though I need 6, and I will get rid of that extra stitch in the first round. Okay, now I have 7 stitches on the needle. You probably have 6 if you use a different way. Arrange stitches for working in the round, and you use either double pointed needles or the circulars like I do. If you use the same type of cast on like I did, working from the loop, then in the first round we'll get rid of that extra stitch. So we're going to knit 1 stitch, then knit 2 together, and knit the rest of the stitches to the end of the round. And here we go. I'll move needles to get ready for the next round, but before we get to the next round, it's time to pull the tail to close that hole at the very center of the work. The next round will be the increasing round. If you used a different type of cast on and you didn't need that extra round to get rid of that stitch, then you start increasing right away from round number 1. And in my case, it's going to be the second one. Anyways, in this round, we're going to knit through the front and back loop of each stitch to double the number of stitches. So we knit through the front loop and then through the back loop of the same stitch, making 2 stitches out of 1. And we do that with every one of the 6 stitches we have on the needles. Okay, here we go. This round is done, and we doubled the number of stitches, and now we have 12 stitches on the needles. In the next round, we're going to place markers to mark spots where we're going to increase stitches to shape the crown, and to do that we need the markers, right? We need 6 markers, 5 of them in one color and 1 that is different. This little guy was going to mark the beginning of the round, and it's going to be the last marker we're going to put into the work. So in this round, we're going to knit 2 stitches and then place a marker. Knit 2 stitches and place the marker. Knit 2 stitches and place a marker. If you have your stitches split in half like I do, then you might decide not to place this marker because it's going to be in between the needles and it's going to be all over the place anyways. So just remember that the spot where you have the needles meeting, that's when the marker should be. So you treat it as such, okay? Another marker, and the last 2 stitches we knit them, but this time we place a different marker, and this is going to be a locking stitch marker for me. I'm going to attach it right to the work to avoid that slipping and being all over the place, because I really don't want to lose that one. And here we go. We have 6 markers in the work. See, this one is all loose, so I'm probably going to remove it later on because it's going to be in the way when I knit. I'll put the tail inside the work again to keep it from getting in the way. And now we are all set to start increasing at the lines of stitches. That's going to be 6 lines, and those lines are going to shape the crown of the hat. First, let's make the increase, and I prefer to make the lifted increase, but you can do any other increase you like, but lifted increase usually works well. So here's how you do it. You insert the needle into the stitch that is below the live stitch, the first live stitch. See, this is your first live stitch, and then you go underneath it into this stitch that is below, and then knit it like this. Now you go into the live stitch and knit that one again. So we make 2 stitches out of 1 because we knit also into the stitch that is underneath the live stitch, and that's what the lifted increase is. Then we knit all stitches to the marker, and in our case it's going to be just 1 stitch in this row, but that number is going to change because we keep increasing. Then slip the marker and repeat. Lifted increase, knit to the marker, slip the marker, and you work this sequence 6 times until you come to the end of the round. And the last increase, knit to the marker, and that's it. I'm not slipping this marker obviously because it's a locked stitch marker, it sits inside the work. In the next round we're gonna simply knit all stitches and slip the markers as we meet them, and that's gonna be our plain round. Okay, the plain round is done, and now we repeat the increasing round and the plain round until we get the circumference of the hat that we need. The good question is, how do we know what circumference of the hat we need? And the answer is provided in the article that is in the link that's in the description. You can either measure your hat or measure your head, or you can get download a hat size chart like the one I have here and follow that chart if you are working on a hat for somebody else and you cannot measure their head, right? So I'm gonna work, I'm gonna make a hat for a toddler and I want it to be a loose fit. So my measurement over here is gonna be 18 inches or 46 centimeters. So I'm gonna increase, I'm gonna repeat the increasing round and then the plain round, increasing and plain, increasing and plain, and so on, until I measure this, this part of the work, the bottom of the work, and I get the measurement that I need. I get the 18 inches or 46 centimeters. But until that happens, I'm going to repeat the increasing round and the plain round. And just a bit of knitting later. Here we go. This is the hat, the crown of the hat that I have on my needles. It's already well shaped, but we need to see whether the size is enough for the measurement that I need. And like I said, I need 18 inches or 46 centimeters. So what's going to happen? I will take a measuring tape and then I will place the hat flat, the crown of the hat flat, and then spread the stitches nicely. Don't have them jammed, but don't open them up too much. So just spread them nicely as you would like them to look on your hat. And then measure this circumference of your work. Don't measure the needles, the outside part of the needle. Measure inside the needle. So I'm gonna do it like this. So see, I put the 0 over here, and then I run the measuring tape along the needle, along the cable of the needle. It's easier to do on the cable needle, but it's quite possible to do on double pointed as well. And this is my measurement. So I have 23.5 centimeters. So that's half of the circumference. If I double that circumference, I will get 47, which is okay. I mean, 1 centimeter off is not really a big deal. So that means at this point I stop increasing and I wait till the next video when we'll be working on the body of the hat. And that's it. We have the crown of the hat shaped nicely. Next week we're going to work on the body of the hat and the brim. Stay tuned. I'll see you next Thursday.